Okay, so we're going to be, thank you for that. We're going to be brief with those reports because, as you can see the agenda, we wanted to give time for our area directors, and we'll talk about that, the purpose of that momentarily. But right now, I wanted to bring those agenda changes to you. And at this point, we will call the meeting to order. And I'm going to ask that our administration manager, Christine Ross, read our district mission, please. Christine?
Thank you, Jean. District 40 Toastmasters mission, we build new clubs and support all clubs in achieving excellence.
Awesome, Christine. Thank you. Thank you. Now, as I said, mentioned earlier, momentarily ago, and that we want to talk and give space to our area directors. We have flipped the agenda so that we could ask you how things are going, and then how can we help you as a district? Yes, we are going through the worst pandemic since the 1918 pandemic. But as you'll see today, I wanted to turn our attention, even through this pandemic, even through the challenging times we're going through, to the thought of aspire, to aspire. And I just wanted us to hear that, and then also to get a visual of aspire. And I think of it as climbing a mountain. And we have, oh, I'm sorry. Can you see my screen, the image on this, of aspire?
No.
I think that's what how about that? Is that?
Yes.
Can you get it now? How about that? We all learn and grow in Zoom. Hey, that's awesome. So when I think of aspire, and Webster's defines aspire as to direct one's hopes or ambitions towards achieving something. In a sentence it's used, we never thought that we might aspire to those heights. Aspire, to grow. I have an image from a district conference, I think the last time we were in West Virginia, and it has this picture of a mushroom and growing in a forest. And it talks about, it uses that image to talk about the word aspire. What comes to mind for you when you think about the word aspire? You don't have to answer that, but I just want you to think about that, because through this challenge, we're going to continue to aspire, set the goals, move toward the goals, to aspire. That could be also a word of the day. If you like to use it when you share today, feel free to use that word, aspire. And as we'll make this, of course, our Toastmasters meeting. Now, getting back, one moment, we'll head back to the agenda. Okay, can everyone see the agenda now? Wonderful. Hey, for non-techies, hey, there's hope. There is hope. There's hope. If I can do it, you can do it too. So now we want to share, I want the area directors to share. The question is before you, and hopefully you got the agenda earlier. Thank you, Christine, for getting that out. We just want to give space to you. We're going to allow at least 20 minutes here. If we go that far, great, but we set this time aside for you. And we did this earlier with the division directors, and we found a lot of success a lot of great conversation, but more than that, some strategies that we started to develop out of this conversation. So how are you doing, and how can we help you? Who would like to start? And you can also use the chat. And Steve or Don. Steve, how about you? If you could, Steve Lanham, if you could monitor the chat for us as well, would appreciate that. Which area director would like to step out to Brave? Just how are you doing? And
like Keith Allen.
Okay, Keith. Okay, Keith, welcome.
Good morning, Gene.
Good morning.
Hey, I think we need to do something to increase membership, but you know, Toastmasters does a good job. You get your 5-pin, you get your 10-pin, you do 20 members and stuff. But a lot of clubs are struggling with membership. But if you make it where the members get something from D40, I think that would sit there and help. Sometimes people have to do something. They do something, they expect something, they want to get something in return. So I think if we did something from District 40, you know, we do the Triple Crown, which is great.
Right.
We recognize different people for awards, but do something on the more on the membership, especially this year.
Okay. So more recognition on the membership side from the district.
Yeah,
That's
based
what I'm
on
hearing.
people that are bringing in clubs. But you look at it, say a club's got like 6 members and they need 2 more in order for them to compete in a speech contest. And they got some people that are wanting to do it. So then that's going to energize people in those clubs to get those members up. But then maybe another club, you know, they got like 13 members and then they need 18 members to be distinguished. And the fact that, you know, that's y'all's goal to get everybody at least 5 goals this year and be distinguished. And typically when somebody doesn't get it, it's going to be based on the membership. So I think if we start now, then we'll be better off in the spring.
Excellent. Okay. Thank you, Keith.
Thank you.
Absolutely. Comments on that? Thoughts? More recognition to members, and I think that's from the district. I hear you. We hear you. Okay. Thank you, Keith.
You're welcome.
Gene, there's a comment in the chat about the district providing clubs free Zoom access for their meetings, which we are doing. So that's a benefit that the district is providing.
Okay. Right. The free Zoom access. And thank you to the webmaster team and public relations for being on top of that. That's a great benefit. Everyone knows we're in Zoom Enterprise now, so we've gone beyond Zoom Pro and we have Zoom Enterprise. So please take advantage of that free service. It's awesome service. Thoughts, area directors? Want to hear from you.
I'm going to go ahead and take the floor. I had my hand raised. This is Erin Southern.
Hi,
How are we
Erin.
doing? Good morning, everyone.
Good morning. Good morning. Welcome.
I think, you know, Zoom is wonderful. If we didn't have it, Toastmasters would be almost non-existent at this point, I believe. So very thankful for that platform. But I think we also need to take into account that people are working from home and their laptops, you know, these are people that you're used to going into the office. So their laptops are at their home as a beacon, you know, that are constantly there. So people are having a lot of Zoom fatigue. So whenever we have our COTs and TLIs and whatnot, I think it's really important that we make everything very concise, especially around the holiday months, so that people are not feeling like they're spending their Saturdays, you know, from like 9 to 4. That's practically a work day, you know, after being in front of the computer Monday through Friday. So we just need to make sure that we shore everything up tightly.
Okay. Yes, you're reiterating a message. We're hearing loud and clear from your division directors about Zoom fatigue, and we'll take that to note. Thank you, Erin. Definitely.
I think people were very happy to see that this was 9 to 11 this morning. So great job in responding to the feedback.
Yes.
So Gene, if I
And
could
that was
ask Aaron,
intentional. That was intentional. Way to go, quad. Way to go, division directors. Way to go. I hear you, David. Is that you, David?
if I could ask Aaron, she's saying,
Yes.
could you elaborate a little bit more on what do you mean by sew everything up for the TLIs and COTs?
I just mean like if there's maybe even if there's a 5 to 7 minute speech or the breakout rooms, just making sure that we're bringing everything down and having deliberate points to make, and we make them quickly and so that we can move on to the next thing. Just keep things moving at a nice pace so that people can, you know, go on about their days, you know, on Saturdays and evenings and whatnot.
Well, just so you know, the TLIs and COTs, they're required sessions. They have to be 45 minutes long. So that's number one. And then there's additional sessions. There's no way that we can make it really any shorter than the 6 hours that we do for the TLIs and the 4 hours that we do for the COTs. This is a unique time for all of us because of COVID, and I do understand the Zoom fatigue. I think one of the things that a lot of us tend to forget about is that realistically, you're only looking at 2 Saturdays out of 52. And that's it. So maybe what we should probably focus more on is delivering a more concise message that, okay, you're looking at one time in the winter, one time in the summer, that either on a Saturday or whenever the COT is, that you're going to have a 4 to 6 hour window of training, and also delivering the message of the benefit of the training, how it could benefit not only you as a club officer, but it could also help benefit your club because you're bringing back that information that we give out. And then also it could, you know, spark up some juices in your mind to help you think outside the box. So, I mean, I get what you're saying. We can't shorten it any more than what it is. Normally it's longer than that in person, but we've cut it as much as we possibly can. I think the message is a little bit more important, but that's just my opinion. But thank you, Aaron. I appreciate it.
This is Ray.
Thank you, David. Hey,
Hi,
Ray.
everybody. Thanks. I wanted to add just some additional comments and just some of my thoughts after attending officer training, and if there were opportunities to shorten it. I mean, is there a requirement that all 4 sessions are, or there's 45-minute sessions, and there's right now we've got, I guess, 4, if I'm remembering correctly, 4 slots in series. And at the same time, we're doing 4 sessions each slot, if I remember correctly. So is it possible to combine and do 45-minute, do 4 of the officer trainings in one 45-minute session in parallel, and then do the remaining sessions and any alternate sessions in the next meeting, in that if somebody happens to have 2 officer roles, they could still attend or likely attend both, or perhaps have some flexibility to attend a partial session if you have somebody who's a VP of PR and a VP of membership, and those are at the same time, that they may be able to grab that 45 minutes out of another training and piece that together. Just trying to understand, what constraints that we might have around that.
Great question, Ray. David, is there any flexibility or members of the DETC committee to restructure at all?
This is Christine, and I'll hop in ahead of David, and David,
Okay.
correct me if I'm wrong, but as the past chair of the DETC, Raymond, the short answer is no. We are not allowed to have all 7 officers in the same session at the same time and crank out the training. We are not allowed to do that
That
from
wasn't what
world
I was.
headquarters. And in the past, we have combined sessions because often the secretary and the treasurer will be the same person. And we combined sessions, and generally the combined sessions got very poor reviews, that people who were not both the secretary and the treasurer thought that the time spent talking about the office they didn't have was not time well spent. So we've kind of gone down that path, and between the reviews that we've gotten back from the club officer training and the edicts that have come from world headquarters, we're not able to do that.
So just to clarify, I guess I wasn't saying have all 7 at the same time. I was saying kind of right now we do, I believe, 2, 2, 2, and 1 or something like that. It would be, I guess, maybe 3 and 4. So it'd still be multiple sessions, but just kind of some, or maybe even, you know, have it in 3 sessions rather than in 4. Is there, you know, is there a regulation around, you know, that 2 is the max we could do simultaneously? Could we do 3? Is there, I guess, any room for discussion around?
So Raymond, let me chime in on that one. Realistically, we're kind of in a no-win situation with that. So I'll use your analogy where you were saying maybe you have the VPPR and the VPM in the same session. That person goes, let's say we have one person who is an officer for both roles. So now they have to attend today's training and then block off time for the next training to attend that one for that role. At the end of the day, it's, like I said, it's really a no-win. One of the things I've been thinking about doing, and I'm gonna talk a little bit more detail with the quad, is considering doing TLI, possibly training every night. So every day of the week, Monday through Friday, we do one specific officer role and then possibly some breakout sessions where we target just that particular officer. I've heard from other districts that that has gone off extremely well. I don't know how it will work in our district. So it's something that I would like to at least discuss, not only with the quad, but the DETC, to see if that's something that we can do. But the results from the other districts, they said they had full turnout and basically somewhere between 50 and 70 people per session. So if we did president on Monday, VP on Tuesday, all the way down to sergeant at arms by Friday, that might be a way we could go. But right now, we're trying our best to be as accommodating as possible. As Christine said, we have, you know, tried to shorten it as much as we can. Normally, we usually go from 9 to 4, 4:30-ish, somewhere in that ballpark. We realize not only are our members dealing with Zoom fatigue, but we're dealing with Zoom fatigue. So we cut it down to about a 6-hour time frame. One of the things that Steve Lanham and his team are working on is trying to get everyone updated on Zoom, get the most current platform, where then all of our members can pick their own rooms and we don't have to have the Zoom master saying, okay, you have to rename yourself and so on and so forth. So that should cut down a little bit of time also. But I'm taking notes. This will be something that I'll be discussing with the quad and also DETC to see what else we can possibly trim off. But I think we're right at the meat right now. I don't think we can trim really too much more. But thank you, Ray and Aaron, for your comments.
Thank you. And I definitely appreciate the comments around doing one night a week. I'd definitely be interested in seeing if that progresses, but much appreciated.
Great. Thank you, David. Thank you, Christine. And thank you, Ray and Aaron. I think we got at least time for a couple more.
Gene, there's
Gene?
a
Yes.
question in chat.
Chat.
They're
Go ahead,
asking if Toastmasters International is doing any digital advertising to help all clubs.
Yeah, Todd, I'll take that. There is a digital advertising campaign that Toastmasters kicked off in January that is being rolled out around a lot of districts. So there is a digital ad campaign that they are working on. And I know that even before this specific campaign, they have done advertisements with in Google Ads and in Facebook to get the word out. So that is something that they're doing. I don't have specific information on that, but I am going to look and get some information. I'll try to send that to you as soon as possible so you have those details. But also D40, my group, we're working on trying to start our own ad campaign program to supplement that. We have some great work that Steve and his team is doing around building some some location specific digital landing pages, which is really kind of one of the holes in our marketing strategy that helps make the marketing a little more targeted, right? We have some great resources in, say, the Cincinnati area, and we want to make sure that Toastmasters who are in the Cincinnati area know about the resources that make sense for them. Obviously, in this digital age, location matters a little bit less, but it's still important, especially when you talk about how groups of people, like in Cincinnati, they have a common language, they have some common reference points that help bring them together as a group. So we're trying to find a good balance between, a shotgun approach of advertising out to everybody, but also interspersing in some location specific information. And it's coming together. It is definitely a lot of work, and I congratulate Steve's team on what they're working on. And I look forward to trying to make digital advertising a more integral part of District 40. So thank you for the question, Todd. And if you have any follow-up, let me know.
Yeah, and let me just piggyback on what Don said. He did mention the landing pages, and we are working on that. It's been a slow process. I'll be the first to admit that, but we're all learning as we go along. But what we hope to happen there is people type in certain keywords, and it will go to specific spots on this landing page. So someone might be interested in leadership. Someone might be interested in being a public speaker. Somebody might be interested in improving job skills, job prospects. So there are different spots, anchor points on the landing page where they can go to get the information specific to the keyword or the request that they're working on. So we are excited about that. And, we hope to get that rolled out here soon. We're still working on it because there's a few more technical things we need to do.
Might I interject something? This is Angie.
Hey, Angie.
Hello, good morning.
Good morning.
I just want to say that what Steve just said, I think that's going to be fabulous. And I wanted to interject that the trainings that I've attended, I'm new to all of this, everything about Toastmasters is very new to me and in this position and so forth. But the trainings have inspired me to go towards more goals and things in Toastmasters, as well as in my personal life and my journey in life. I attended the trainings, most recent trainings that we've had for the leadership. And I just wanted to commend all of those who were doing the trainings. Mm-hmm. I didn't want to not go to all the trainings. Sometimes you get into this mindset of, oh, I've got to do this, but I've gone to some of Tony Robbins' different programs, and I love to grow as a person and go to things that are going to challenge me. And the leadership trainings that we have challenges us, and it gives us more resources, and it gives us ideas, and it causes us to go towards another goal in our lives. And I think if we approach a lot of the things that we're doing in our leadership trainings, I mean, when you go and you get an advertisement from Tony Robbins or something like that, I mean, we have a wealth of knowledge with Toastmasters. We have a wealth of opportunities with Toastmasters. And it just when I sat there and compare the two, we're giving the same messages that a lot of these people that are getting paid that $7,000 to listen to are giving. We're giving those same messages. We're giving the same resources. And we need to own it. And we need to realize how amazing this whole program is. If we don't already, I'm not saying we don't, but I'm just so overwhelmed with the different informations that are in Toastmasters that so many people aren't aware of out in the public realm, people that don't know yet. And I just think that I just commend everyone that's involved in Toastmasters, because it's given me such a, as you all say, a platform. I do want to be a public speaker one day. I do want to spread my wings and grow and do so many more things in my life. And what you all have offered in these programs, not just the clubs, but going further in and up the realm in leadership responsibilities and so forth. I'm just amazed, and I am excited, and it's given me such an enthusiasm. I truly believe in the program, the way that it began and how it's grown, the history of it, everything. And I just wanted to say thank you, because it's amazing, and all of the things all of the volunteers are doing, to me, is just, it's a gift that we've been given because there's no cost to it. I mean, that's just, to me, it's just amazing. When everybody else is trying to get the mighty dollar, this is a program that is doing it because of the motivation, internal motivation of becoming better and helping somebody else do the same thing. I think it's wonderful. So I just wanted to say that.
Thank you, Angie. We can go
You know,
home
Angie,
now.
I'll just step in here and say thank you for your enthusiasm, because
Yes.
you are where that enthusiasm meets with our membership. And remember that you have that power. We're sitting here, we're doing our best to give that enthusiasm to you, but you are in a position to pass that on and be that ambassador. When you see somebody on the street and you just want to say hi, to ask me about Toastmasters, you have that power. But when you are attending meetings, when you're talking to members, that enthusiasm is what is really contagious. So thank you for bringing that enthusiasm.
That's right. And I'll add on to our wonderful Club Growth Director, Angie, you are already a public speaker. You're already a public speaker. And I'll add on with that definition of power. One dictionary defines it, the ability to affect change. And when you're talking in conversations and you elevate others in their consciousness, in new dimensions, you are affecting change. When you go to those clubs and you bring your enthusiasm, your climate, your personality, your gratitude, you're affecting change. Does that make sense?
It does. Thank you.
So, Gene, Michael Pope made a good point, is that
go ahead. I can't see. Thank you.
We should do testimonials. Definitely what Angie said, but then also testimonials from our area directors, our division directors, testimonials after our trainings and things like that we can actually put up there. I think the more positive messages that we put out there, the better off we're going to be. It's one thing when it comes from the four of us. The membership really actually expects the district director, program quality director, club growth director, and public relations manager to always have these positive messages. But I think Michael hit it home when he put in the chat, we should be doing it for everybody but us. We can kind of add to it, but I think the messages should come from our members and our other leaders before it comes from us. So great idea, Michael.
Yeah, let me interject here too.
Thank you.
Public relations manager. I know that our webmaster, Arlen McMahon, she would love to get testimonials like this, testimonials, and be able to put them on our YouTube channel and put a link on our website. And she's asked me about why don't we do the My Why campaign that was prevalent a year or so ago. So I think this is a great idea. We just need to move a little bit on it and make it happen. So I know Arlen has reached out to a few people about this. The response apparently hasn't been that great. So, talking about it is one thing, doing it is another. So just want to put that out there.
Thank you, Steve. Thank you for keeping us on track with that. Action speaks louder than words. I'm learning.
Gene, there's another question here.
Okay.
Maybe David wants to answer this, but
this will be our last one. Go ahead.
Is the district considering extending the ALS and DTM into the traditional education system since we're experiencing more challenges getting new members?
Okay, so thank you. This is not a district decision.
Yeah.
This is actually from World Headquarters, but I will definitely take that question down and relay it to our region advisor and our international director to see what they're doing. I can tell you that World Headquarters has done a great job just trying to deal with this pandemic during this time. And they are constantly changing. Now, as of right now, it is still June 30th, 2021. That could possibly change. And we'll do our best to make sure that any communications that come from World Headquarters, we'll get it out to the membership as soon as possible. Well, great question. Thank you so much.
Yes, excellent question. Thank you, David, for handling that. We have wasn't this a great session? Awesome. I mean, kudos to everyone. We have noted each of your concerns, and thank you, Angie, for sharing as well, each of you for sharing. And this is what we aspire to do. And that is to build leadership. Leadership is built in the tough times. That's where vision is coming from. That's where grit and determination comes into play. It's not when the seas are calm. It's when things are tough. And so we're in that tough time. We're going to be tougher. You're going to be tougher in character. You're going to have greater vision. You're going to have greater force when you come through this. So trust me on this one. Just like coming back to our Toastmaster meetings again and again and again, we will rise above. Thank you to all of you. We want to have these again. So we're going to work as a quad to see how we can receive more of your input on a regular basis. But we wanted to set this time aside to hear from you. So thank you. Thank you. Moving now to our reports from our district officers. We flipped the agenda, and there are some key exciting opportunities, and there are some exciting strategies that are going on that we want you to be aware of right away. So without further delay, I'd like for our logistics manager, Wendy Simmons. Wendy, if you would, are you on now?
I am.
Okay.
I'm here.
And Wendy is going to share with us about an exciting opportunity with our D40 and our district website. Wendy?
Thank you, Mr. Gene Bailey. Good morning, everybody. Happy Saturday. The sun is shining a little bit, so that's something to feel good about, is there's a little bit of sun out today. So yeah, I've been working with Arlen. Thank you, Steve, for that as well. I know we talked as well, and Arlen, and we've had some brainstorming about how to use those D40 bucks. I'm going to do a screen share and just kind of let you know kind of what's going on. So give me a second to share my screen.
Okay. And I'll come off. I'll come off. There we go.
Okay. So what we're trying to do is things are a little bit different this year. I mean, you're used to seeing the store manager and the logistics manager out at the sites. You can go to the store and you can kind of use your D40s and get some great swag. That's been a little bit difficult this year. So we kind of had to put our heads together and try to find some new ways to use the D40 bucks. I mean, you can always go out, you know, order stuff, but it's been a little bit more difficult using the D40. So what we kind of talked about was being able to go directly to the TI website and order, going through an order. So this is just kind of, I'm going to send this out to everybody. I'll send it out to the division directors, the actual instructions on how to forward it to your areas and to your clubs, how to use your D40 bucks. I know there's D40 bucks out there that people are anxious to be using. I am located in Columbus, Ohio. So I try to, you know, it's a little difficult to cross lines all the time. I try to meet people, but this was a great idea to be able to go out to the Toastmasters International website, do your shopping, and then do a screenshot and send that to me with your picture of your D40, and you can have it shipped directly to you or your, you know, designated person. So what you need to do is go into your Toastmasters International, go to shop, go through everything you need, and you're going to go through every single step except for hitting submit. And then you're going to do a screenshot and you're going to send that to this here is sending that screenshot to the store manager, which is me, the d40toastmasters.org, and send that to me with a picture of take a photo of your D40 certificate. And then what I'll do is I'm going to submit the order myself through the district, send it to Jean, get approval, send it on, and then it'll come directly to you and I will process the D40 bucks. So that really makes things a little bit easier. So you have a little bit more control over what you need. Now, there's probably going to be some times I might be able to fill some things through the store. So when you send stuff, if I have it in the store, then I can always, especially if you're in the Columbus area, I'm more than likely I might be able to meet you and give you what you need if I have it in the store. So that's just been a little bit of a challenge this year, trying to find to give the power to people to use their D40 bucks and a little bit more freedom. So this is what we kind of came up with. We are still in the testing phases of this. We just kind of came out with this. We're looking for one order we're going to try to send through shortly. We're going to do, I think the dates were the first, just so, you know, we want to kind of get some expectations out there that around the 1st, the 10th, and the 20th of the month to do these, the store manager usually will process these orders around those dates. So we're going to start getting ready for our first orders. So just kind of a little bit of like I said, I'm going to send this out to everybody, but I think it's really exciting to be able to use those D40 bucks, because I'm sure we could all raise our hands and say, we got D40 bucks we need to use and we're excited. I miss seeing everybody. I know it's been very different, you know, trying to manage the store from a virtual standpoint because we're not in person and you can't just do that spontaneous shopping at these TLIs and the DEC meetings where a lot of the merchandise might be. But I am here to try to meet everybody's needs as the area, the district, you know, and the clubs, especially the clubs, you know, that you need things. You want ribbons, you want materials, pins and stuff like that. So I want to trying to make things a little bit easier this way. So that's what I wanted to share with you. Jean, you're right. This was very exciting to have this option out here to do. Absolutely. And then of course, anything else as far as you're ordering, you know, you can still reach out to the district store email and let me know if let me know. I am going to send out, along with this instructions, I'm going to send out the current inventory for the district store because I do have stuff on hand. So I'm going to send that out. And then if there's something in the store that you want, we can also make that arrangement through, you know, I'll call you. If you're in Columbus, I'll meet you in Columbus. If you're in Cincinnati, if you want to get out of the house for a minute, I'll meet you halfway, you know, the kind of stuff like that. You know, I'll try that. But this option here to be able to do it directly through the store on Toastmasters International and send it to me and have it shipped to you and not have to meet me anywhere, I think is a great option. So that's kind of the unveiling of that. I want to thank Arlen for working with me and coming to me with this great idea that we could work on. and the support of the district as well that with this idea. And we're looking forward to everybody, let's try this out. Let's use our D40 bucks and might that get some enthusiasm and aspire us to really get ourselves back into it. So I know the virtual is very difficult, and I'll admit virtual's hard for me because I'm a people person and I'm a touchy-feely person. So I like to be able to shake hands, shake and howdy and hugs, and so so maybe something like this might help aspire us a little bit more in our journey ahead. And also, real quick with that, I'll take some questions. But also, I am also looking to setting up this whole year. I've just been trying to work on the program, get everything really set up for the new year. We got 6 months before the next cycle starts, and I'm trying to build a really good team for the store. So anybody who's interested in learning about the store, because we're going to be getting in 6 months, somebody would like to take it over. So if you're interested in learning about the store, please let me know. I would love to work with anybody to try to have a successor come June. So just let me know if you're interested in that. And with that, anybody have any questions?
Questions for Wendy?
Wendy, this is Steve. You might want to mention what if somebody doesn't remember if they have D40 or not?
Oh, we get that information, Steve, just to confirm with that D40 information can be found through the district, right? Just send we have a log of that, correct?
Yes.
Okay, yeah. If you don't know if you have a D40, just let me know, and then I can check with. We have a master sheet of the D40 bucks that have been handed out, so we're going to keep a log of it as well as any D40 bucks that are out there, and then of course if anything as awards are given out, we can keep a log of that. So just let me know if you don't remember, just send it to me and I will touch base with the district to the rest of the leadership to find out if you are on the list, if you have any outstanding D40. We're going to keep a master list of that. Thank you, Steve.
And I think Arlene had said something about maybe putting that list on the website too, so people can check it out.
Absolutely. Thank you, Steve. Yes, we're going to try to get a lot of this is going to go out onto the website. As Steve said, she's the webmaster. That's why I've been working with her, because we're really trying to make the presence of the D40 store very present out there. So it'll be very easy, like being able to look for the inventory to see what's online. Instead of calling me or emailing me, you can just go out and hit the inventory and see what I have on hand. But also these instructions, how to use these instructions. Also, if there's a D40 list. So just trying to make it a little more user-friendly and a lot more convenient for all the members out there to go to the D40 website and have a lot of this information out there for the store. So yes, we're going to want to put it out there as well.
Questions for Wendy? Wendy, let me pause to say thank you for your hard work that you're putting into this. You and Arlene McMahon, we appreciate your hard work that's gone into this. Steve, thank you for you and your team for working on this. This is awesome. Let's give a round of applause at least to Wendy and the presentation and the concept. I want to also give a thank you to the originator, the idea of D40 bucks, who happens to be on the line as well, Don Schultze. Don, we thank you. Appreciate your thought in this. And it's expanded, of course, beyond the original intent, but we thank you for creating it. Any other thoughts, questions for Wendy?
Actually, Gene, I think Kathy Donovan and I aspired together for that, so I don't want to take all the credit.
Gotcha. Well, I can only give what I know, so thank you. Appreciate that, Don. Okay. Thank you, Wendy.
All right. Thank you, everybody. If you have any questions, just email me.
Absolutely. Moving next to the agenda, we're going to hear from our fabulous finance manager, Toastmaster Lila Muncy. Lila.
Good morning, everybody.
Good morning, Lila.
Can you hear me?
Yes, can see you too.
Wonderful. That's great. Well, let me tell you where we stand right now. Right now, we have $18,875 in our checking account. We have $38,159 in our district reserve account, which gives us a total of $57,034. However, we are required to maintain $14,079 in our district reserve account that we have to have as a minimum. So we have $42,955 and 43 cents that are available to spend at this point in time. We are ahead of the game as far as our budget is concerned for memberships, which is amazing. We were concerned, and although we are lower than what we've been in the past, TMI had given us a lower budgeted amount of revenues that we should be hitting for, and we have been able to hit that. So we are doing as well as we can expect under the circumstances. Other budget items are within what we expected, so I think we're doing pretty good. So be proud of yourselves, keep working, keep trying to get new members so that we can stay ahead of the game like we are. Thank you. Any questions? Lisa?
Lila, it's Don. I do want to thank you and also the audit committee for completing last year's audit. So you all did a great job, and I appreciate your support on that.
Thank you. And
Jean,
I guess I should add. Oh, I should add that I'm.
Go ahead. I'm sorry,
I'm
Lila.
still looking. That's okay. I'm still looking for some help in this position, just like Wendy is. If someone is interested in a finance manager position, please let me know. I've put a couple ads in our newsletter, but so far, no takers. So please let me know. I mean, we know finance is where it's at, right? Everybody loves money. So please let me know. Thank you.
Thank you. Lila, you didn't get a chance to hear, but thank you so much for your hard work and all that you're doing. We appreciate you and the audit team. So let's hear it for Lila.
Thank you.
Thank you. Thank you. Hearing no questions for Lila, we'll move to our next item on the agenda. One of our high priests of District 40. He's the high priest of public relations. You didn't know? Yeah, we have two high priests. Yeah, one is over public relations, and I like to introduce him or to those who do not know him. That's doubtful, but help me welcome Toastmaster Steve Lanham, our public relations manager.
Thank you, Jane. Now, some of you might be movie buffs out there, right? You may have seen the movie Cool Hand Luke. Anybody seen that movie? You probably have. And you remember that iconic line in the movie? What we got here is a failure to communicate. Now, I was going to try to countrify my voice to do that, but then I realized I already have the country voice. I can just say it in my natural voice, okay? But anyway, when it comes to District 40, I don't think we can say that. I don't think we have a failure to communicate, but I do think we could do better in this area of communication. And what we're doing right now is working to a degree, but it could work so much better. And I'd like your help in making this work better for all of us. Now, some of you on the Zoom call have reached out to me over the last few months and said, why haven't I heard about this? Why haven't I heard about that? The members didn't know about this. So there is a problem communicating important Toastmasters information from district leadership through the hierarchy down to our club officers and to our club members. I just want to let you know that we are working on it. Now, as you may know, District 40 uses Constant Contact to send out bulk emails to our 2,500 plus members and also to smaller subsets of the district. Now, the problem is using Constant Contact is generally we get between 25 to 30% open rates on those emails. Now, if you're doing a direct marketing campaign, that is excellent. But if you're trying to send out important information to your membership, that means 70 to 75% of our members are not getting what could be critical information from District 40. And I'd like to see us do better than that. And again, we're working on that. Now, what could be the problem? Are members just ignoring the emails? Could be. Are the emails going to spam folders, junk folders, the promotions folders in Gmail? Maybe. Or how about the fact that corporations could be blocking Constant Contact emails because they come from Constant Contact for members that have corporate email accounts for their Toastmasters information. That's a possibility too. So what we've done is instead of relying strictly on Constant Contact, District 40 is trying to reach people through multiple channels. We still use Constant Contact for those bulk emails announcing important district information, but now we're also utilizing the District 40 Facebook page, trying to duplicate the information over there, and also on the District 40 website. We're trying to get the word out in different areas, what you might call multi-channel marketing. So that seems to be helping our efforts. Now, more and more people are learning about the members section of the District 40 website, which has been mentioned here today. And Arlen tells me that we have about 100 new members every week, 100 new visitors, unique visitors to the website every week. So the word's getting out about the website that it is a viable, vibrant, up-to-date, fresh website that contains critical and useful information that members, officers can use. So talk up the website because it's something that personally I think is really, really beneficial, and I'm proud of it right now. All right, so another change that we've implemented here is we're starting to send out a weekly email. Some might say an email blast, an email communication, whatever you want to call it, to our members about events and deadlines that are coming up or things they need to be aware of. Before, we were sending these type of notices out on a onesie, twosie kind of basis, ad hoc, as needed. And that meant that members, officers could be getting an email today, an email tomorrow, an email on Sunday. So we're trying to combine all those. So I encourage you, if you have something that you'd like to communicate to the district level, to everybody in the district, get that to me early. And we're going to talk about some deadlines that I suggest here in just a little bit. So in these emails, you got one this past week. In these emails, you see that I've tried to Twitterize the information. You know, people don't want to read long, long emails about, okay, we got this going on, we got this going on, whatever. So what I try to do is say event, date, time, brief description, contact, and a link where you can go get more information. And that's it. We try to Twitterize this information. So you should get like 5, 6 bullet points of information that are about events or deadlines that are impending. And then you can look at that, read it or not. If you need more information, click on that link. So we're trying to do that too. So I'm happy to say that this weekly email blast, which I sent out this past week, is already paying dividends. Now, one of the items on there was area directors, division directors, be sure to set up your contest and send a notice to the calendar master, we'll call them that, which that's me for now, me and John Humphrey. Send an event, send that to the calendar master. And we had two divisions send that information, 2 sets of combined area contests send that information. So we're getting that information on the website. So it's paying off already. So just want you to be aware of that. But when you get these emails from public relations at D40Toastmasters.org, please do not ignore it. Okay, please read it and think about it. Okay, think about, would this be useful to go ahead and send again to the people that are at the next level. So if you're division director, you might think, well, I probably ought to send this again to our area directors. They may have gotten it, but a little repetition, another reminder probably won't hurt. If you're an area director, you might think, okay, the clubs may have gotten it, but maybe I ought to send it again just so that I can remind them. Because sometimes people see an email, they look at it, they don't react to it, and let it sit, then they forget about it. Now, my area director happened to send, I'm not a club officer, but my wife is, so we share emails sometimes. And my area director did send an email that I sent out as public relations manager. It came to my wife because the area director sent it on, and it was a good reminder for us. So let me take a second here to let you know what you need to do when you submit a calendar event. Okay, and you would think that this would be understood and a given, but I just want to go ahead and just spell this out for you. And the first thing is that please, please, please send these at least 3 weeks in advance. You're thinking, 3 weeks? What are you talking about, Steve? That's insane. I can't plan anything 3 weeks from now. Okay, hang on. Okay, just hang on. All right, so what that does, if you send a calendar event to me, remember, you're not just submitting a calendar event. We're going to put it in our email blast. We're going to put it on Facebook. We want to put it on the website. So it's going to be going in 4 different places. And when we do that, we want to make sure we have the right information and have the information that we can put out there that's going to draw people in, and make sure the verbiage reads right. So go ahead and send it to me 3 weeks. And then for a week after that, you and I can be talking about the wording and make sure we get it right. And hopefully we'll be able to get that event on the calendar, on the website, on Facebook, in the email blast, at least 2 weeks before it happens. That gives people that are receiving the message ample notice that this is coming up. So just be aware of that. So think about that. 3 weeks, try to get it to me 2 weeks, we'd like to post it. So unfortunately, the COT is coming up. We had a little breakdown in the communication channel there. And so we're getting the information out about that a little late, in my opinion. And I'm not pointing fingers at anybody, but this doesn't set us up for success in communicating information. And it doesn't set up the members that might want to go to these training it doesn't set them up for success either. So when you submit an item, make sure you include the name or title of what the event is. Make sure you include the day and the beginning time and the ending time. And sometimes you think, well, I don't know the beginning time and ending time. If you don't know that, you can go ahead and send it. We can set up an all-day event, but try to get that information to me as soon as possible so we can go ahead and get specifics on the calendar and in the other information on the other multiple channels that we're sending this out. Third, we do Zoom meetings pretty much all the time. So send me the registration link. Now this registration link could be a Zoom registration link. It could be Eventbrite registration link. If you just want to use a meeting link without a registration link, we can do that too. That's up to you. But put that in there. Then contact information for the person that people need to contact about this event, their name and their emails. If you want to include phone numbers, that's fine too, but I think names and emails are very important. And then any other details that might be pertinent. Again, we might expand that on the website and Facebook. We'll probably Twitterize it in the email blast and on the calendar. So remember, it winds up in 4 places: the calendar, the website, email blast, and Facebook. Okay, I mentioned earlier that I could use your help in spreading the word. So let's talk about that. Anytime you receive an email, maybe think about, can I send this on? Can I pass this on to someone else so that they can remind the person after them about this particular information? So if you receive an email from me as public relations manager, from the trio, just think about it in those terms. So division directors, think about sending it to your area directors. Area directors, think about sending it to your club officers. And hopefully the club officers will share it with their club members. At the area director level, if you want to send it to your club members, that's your decision. I don't know about your interaction and your relationship with your club officers. Now here's something I've been going back and forth in my mind. Okay. How do we send this information through the channels? Because we have a great hierarchy, a great structure set up in Toastmasters International. And it actually happens at the international level and comes down through the regions and through international to the district, and then the district to the division, division to area, area to club officer to club members. So we have a great hierarchy in place. How can we leverage this hierarchy? How can we, as a team, and we are a team, the district level membership, leadership, the division leadership, the area leadership, we're all a team. So how can we be a team that communicates more effectively? Now, I've gone back and forth this in my mind. Should we send an email out, another email out that you guys would send through the chain? Right now, I'm sticking with the constant contact email and asking that you share that. If that doesn't work, we can try something different. So let me ask you, do you have any thoughts on that? Do you think it would be more beneficial to send something, an email blast, in addition to the constant contact email that we're sending? Or do you feel like just forwarding that constant contact email would get the results that we're looking for? I'll open the floor up here.
Steve, I will make a comment there to support you. It is important for us to remember that, let me turn my video on, there we go. It is important for us to remember that it is a hierarchy, and it's set up that way for a reason, because we in the trio don't have a relationship with club officers or the members in the clubs, other than the clubs we're a member of. Area directors, you have a very, very crucial relationship with the club officers and to some extent, some of the members of the clubs that are in your area. Please leverage that relationship. If you know that a club officer that you're trying to reach doesn't respond on email, please reach out to them by phone. If you see a communication come from the district that needs to go to the club and you just forward that on an email, but you know that some of your area directors are just not responsive on email, please give them a call. Let them know that this message has come out, because they rely on you to get that information from the district to them, or at least another reminder. So please remember that that hierarchy exists to help strengthen those relationships.
Thanks, Don. Anybody else? Any questions, any thoughts? If you do have anything, go ahead and email me at publicrelations@d40toastmasters.org, or put something in the chat and I'll take a look at it, because I wish I had the silver bullet that would answer this question. No, why isn't constant contact working? Well, it's beautiful when it works, but when it doesn't work, it's not. And we're kind of in that situation. It's the best we have right now, but I think we can do better. So I don't think we're at the point we were at Cool Hand Luke where we have a failure to communicate, but I do think we can do it better. And I just ask all of you to help us as a quad communicate better with the people out in the district. And as Don said, you know, when people get an email from publicrelations@d40.org or Steve Lanham, they think, well, who's that? But when they get an email from you as an area director, they are more likely to know who you are and respond to that and actually open it up and read it. So thank you very much for that. And Gene, I'm just go ahead and shift gears now and talk about Zoom Masters, if that's okay.
That's fine.
Okay.
Thanks, Steve. Go right ahead.
Okay, so I'm gonna go ahead and talk about Zoom Masters just a little bit here. And I just want to let you know that we do need more Zoom Masters in D40. And right now, we have, you know, people talk about Zoom fatigue. Well, just think about if you were the person that has to be running the meetings. And we have a core team of dedicated, committed individuals that have been supporting the district Zoom efforts at TLIs, at COTs, at Wednesday webinars, and other events. And these people are very, very dedicated, but I'm worried that we're going to burn them out. I'll be honest with you. So I sent out an email to all the division directors a while back, and got a couple of responses back asking you if you knew of anybody that would be interested in becoming a Zoom master. So I appreciate those that responded, and just be thinking along that lines, because here's the deal. We have area contest and division contests coming up, and this committed core of individuals won't be able to handle all those area contests and division contests for you. So you will be needing to find someone to serve as Zoom master for your contest. We might have a person available, we might not. I know that we're looking for someone to be the Zoom master next week for the COT that's coming up next Thursday. And we still haven't identified a person. I sent out an email to all our Zoom masters and no one has stepped up. So we are overworking the people that we have. Let me just put it that way. So if any of you are interested, or if any of you have ideas on people that might be able to help us, we had Zoom master training on Wednesday, and thanks to David Hill for setting that up. We had over 60 people, so hopefully we'll find some people in that group that can help us out. But we do need some help. And just think about being a Zoom master. That's a good way to develop skills that might be transferable, or let's say will be transferable to other parts of your life. If you want to meet with friends, meet with family, do Zoom meetings at work. I know that I'm on meetings on Zoom and Teams and whatever all day long, pretty much at work. And those skills are very, very beneficial, because I'll run across people that I work with and they say, well, I don't know how to use Zoom. So it's a good skill to have. So any questions or comments on that?
Steve, did they record that session?
Yes, they did. And what we need to do is take that and make that available on our YouTube channel. So unfortunately that falls to me, so I'm gonna do that. And it's not like a one-step process. So it takes a little while to get it off the cloud and then upload it into YouTube. So give me a couple of days to work on that, but hopefully we make that available pretty soon. I'm David, that's okay, right? David Hill, I just want to make sure that it's okay to make that training available to people.
I mean, it's fine. I'm going to talk about it a little bit more extensively when my portion comes up. So,
okay. All right. I know several people have asked about having that training made available.
Thanks, Steve.
Anything else? Gene, I hear nothing, so I'll turn it back to you.
Okay. Well, Steve, let me thank you specifically for teaching the how-tos. Often we get tools in our toolbox, but being able to teach the how-tos of an item, of a thing. Thank you for taking the time to do that. Appreciate that. And I think I want to elevate Todd Beidelshe's comment, Twitterize. That's, I think we have a new word for the day, to Twitterize. I'll have to keep that in mind. Thank you, Steve. Let's hear it for Steve. Awesome, awesome. Now turning from one high priest to another. And so I'd like to introduce our high priest of club growth and our club growth development director, Don Dehoff. We appreciate you. And Don, we're going to turn the floor over to you to share strategies and items that are happening in club growth. Don Dehoff.
Well, thank you. Thank you very much, Gene, for adding another D to my title. It's pretty awesome. I am always acutely aware of the club growth title because right now is a challenging time in growing clubs, whether we're talking about new clubs or whether we're talking about growing membership in existing clubs. So I want to let you know that I feel your pain. in all levels of making our club stronger. However, I'm very hopeful. I'm very excited about the work that has been done so far and where District 40 is. I often have to reflect on where we are in the world, what's the state of the world. We are in the middle of an enormous pandemic, an enormous public health crisis. And within that framework, we have 83% of our clubs paid. And I have to reflect on the amazingness of that stat. And that is a testament to all of you. You have lots of energy, and you, the leaders of D40, are doing a fantastic job for our members. And I want you to always take the time to pat yourself on the back and congratulate yourself for a job well done. These are challenging times. Being a District 40 leader is always a challenge, but these are extra challenging times. And so celebrate your success and celebrate the work that you've done so far. I would like to talk a little bit about area director reports, which were due on November 30th, and we had 74% of them complete. 74% of clubs were visited and their reports turned in by November 30th. And again, I am ecstatic about that number. That is great that 74% of clubs had an experience of an area director being able to visit them in these times, in this climate, and that's fantastic. And we are already seeing some wonderful feedback in those reports to hopefully inform the second half of the Toastmasters year. I'd like to specifically call out Mono and give her congratulations for Division A having 100% of their club visits turned in. That is fantastic. Thank you, Mono, very much. And Divisions E and H, you get an A+ because you only missed one, and that is fantastic as well. So definitely celebrate your success, pat yourself on the back for it. And we've had 20 areas that were fully complete. And I think that's a wonderful, wonderful reflection on the area director. So thank you all for that hard work. I know that those reports are a bear, and I know that it is a lot of work. I appreciate all the work that you put into it. It gives us the best picture of what is going on at the clubs that we have out of any way to get that information. So thank you very much for that. Let's see, what's next? I'd like to give congratulations to Sean Gallagher, who is our Extension Committee Chair. He has been doing some fantastic work, working with Kevin Voorhees to build up our pipeline of new clubs. And I'm happy to report that we appear to be in the late stages of getting a new club set up at Wright-Patterson Air Force Base and a company called Castellini in Dayton. And I have had some conversations that seem to indicate there is quite a bit of interest at the top level of management at Chase Bank to open up several new clubs at Chase facilities all over the place. That interest is fantastic. I'm very excited about those. So the opportunity is there. The thirst for clubs is there. We need your help. We need sponsors and mentors. We need people to step up and say, I will help this club get off the ground, right? Because we all know that it's a challenge to have a club and to keep it strong, but it is a kind of challenge to get a new club off the ground, right? Now, we have clubs that seem to have an abundance, new clubs that have an abundance of energy, that seem to have a lot of interest, and they're going to be fantastic. There are clubs that need a little push. They need some help getting the word out to get those 20 members to really start the club. So there is some work, and we need people, especially experienced Toastmasters, that know how to talk about Toastmasters, show through demonstration meetings how things are going. So please, if you can step up and reach out to me and say, yes, I would like to help out with new clubs. I'd like to be a club sponsor, a club mentor. Please let me know. If you know people that are in members who are looking for opportunities for credit or for just personal development, as Angela talked about, if you know somebody who would be willing to step up, send me their name. We'll reach out to them, because these are great opportunities for them to get involved in the district process. Please let me know about that. What else? All right. I am very happy to welcome one of my committee members. Her name is Diamond Debbie Lindsey, because she was born to shine. And she is our retention committee chair. And she is doing a fantastic job. I'm very happy to have her on the team. I would like her to give a little bit of an update on a program that we've started in D40 to really help clubs who need a little bit of push. They need a little bit of support, and a lot of clubs do right now, and we're trying to put that program together. So I'd like to welcome Diamond Debbie Lindsey to talk about this program. Take it away, Debbie.
Hello, welcome fellow Toastmasters. Thank you, Don DeHoff, for that wonderful introduction. I've been having the honor and the pleasure of creating a new program for the district. We call it the Buddy Club. If you are familiar with clubs and organizations such as Big Brothers, Big Sisters, Boys and Girls Club, it's based upon those elements. What we have developed is a program where we match a successful club with a struggling club. We are in the midst of accepting applications for both. We call them the bigs and the little, big clubs and little clubs. We noticed that in the last 3 months, between the end of the fiscal year and end of the last membership period, that the normal demographics and results changed quite a bit because of the pandemic situation. So we actually reduced and revised some of our qualifiers for that. And I want to make sure everybody's aware of this, for those clubs who are struggling and for those clubs who are still successful. For example, right now, 10% of our clubs have 19 or more members, so they're still doing good. And of those clubs, 14 of them earn a DCP, a Distinguished Club Program Award. So the success is still here in the district. We just want to make sure we can expand it and make sure everybody has the same opportunity for success here in District 40. To qualify for a little buddy, we need an application filled out. It's on the District 40 Body Club section and the Free Toast host, which Steve Lanham and his committee have been developing. Basically, it's a very short form to fill out, why you need our help, and we need 2 signatures from the club. We hope that we have 1 club officer signature on it. And then we are looking at it at a very case-by-case basis, because usually clubs are really good at recruiting on their own, but we know they need help at this time. And so we just want little clubs to be willing to accept help from another club. And basically you have to have 19 or less members or experienced a very significant decrease in your membership to qualify. For those who want to help out and be the big club buddy, we're looking for those who have 19 or more members at this time and has earned a DCP at least once in the last 3 years. And we want to give everybody an opportunity to participate. We do have a committee that reviews these applications, and we're going with a case-by-case basis. So if your club doesn't quite fit within the stated qualifications, it's okay. Please send in your application anyway, because we want to help you. What is some of the benefits you're going to receive is, once the match is made, you have a year to help this club get back on track. And you can also work with any of the club coaches that may have already been assigned to these clubs. Originally, that was going to be a separate part of the program, but we realized the need is so big. We want to be able to increase that availability to any club that wants our help. Some of the perks are that you actually have somebody new to join you in the club, not join in membership, but just to help you out. One thing I've experienced is when I go visit clubs virtually, and I've been to 3 different districts, is that the club's size attendees may be small, but they are so grateful to see a new face. And they're just happy to have somebody else to put some energy back into the clubs. And we mentioned Zoom fatigue, and we're all experiencing it, but some experience it more than others, and other people have gone beyond it already and still could share that light, shine with the other clubs that they visit. So as area directors, make sure you bring that energy with you, and people are very happy to see you. Believe me, they're very happy to see you. They do miss you physically. They do want to reach out and hug you, but we all want to be safe at this time. But meanwhile, you can enjoy benefits such as earning District 40 incentive dollars. So you can go to the district international website and put your shopping cart together and send it off to Wendy. And also it's an opportunity for people who want to work on their level 4 or 5 in pathways or DTM, because that is going to give you some built-in projects for you to work on. So you can use that match as a project for your level 4 or level 5. So people say, I don't know what to do. Well, this is something that's already within Toastmasters. We have support. We have people who are going to help follow up with these matches to make sure that they're working well. It's a good match. Communication is happening. There's activity happening. You can help for example, you can just have a couple members attend one of the little club members. We already have one match already, and we've actually already had members visit each other's clubs. And it's really easy because we're all on Zoom or a virtual platform. So super easy to attend these days. No commute or travel is required. And we're talking about things that like, how we're going to hold a club contest, or how we're going to hold an open house, those kind of things. What's fun for this group, what makes them unique, and how we can help them and their public relations do it, and find opportunities for the vice president of education to be able to go in and say, hey, there's an opportunity. You're working on this path, presentation mastery. Maybe you can help us put together an updated club website. Those are just some of the opportunities out there. We do have a list of it on the District 40 website, but it is a great place for us to share and help each other out, because I still believe we have a lot of people who want to be helped and want to help. And we are still looking for volunteer clubs for that, but we want to make it so easy. And the reporting is on a quarterly basis, so we can make sure we award you the District 40 incentives as appropriate. And we just want you to have that synergy and create synergy among and between the clubs so that we know we're in this together.
Deborah, can I make a comment?
Yes.
Most of you as area directors have a couple of clubs that are strong and a couple of clubs that aren't. And you wonder, gee, I'll just focus on the small clubs. If you do that, you're excluding the larger, stronger clubs from opportunities like this. So use this as an opportunity to encourage your stronger clubs in your area, such as Great American Speakers or the clubs at Western Southern Bank in Cincinnati, to take the next step and aspire to the next step to help struggling clubs by being a buddy club. Doesn't have to be the same people every meeting. Just get in there and rotate the bases and show those new faces to clubs and help share with those struggling clubs what a successful club looks like.
Thank you, Kevin. I couldn't have said it better myself. Any other comments or questions? I can't see the whole group, so speak up.
Thank you very much, Debbie. I really appreciate you taking the time to talk about that program and all of the energy that you and your team have put into it. So thank you very much for your involvement. You're shining again. Thank you. All right, really quick, I wanted to make a couple corrections that people have pointed out. Castellini Company, the new club that we're looking to start, that's in Northern Kentucky. I think it said Dayton. That's in Northern Kentucky. So we're always excited to have some new clubs in Kentucky. And there is another club that is in the final stages of getting set up. It's called Rise Higher, and it is an advanced club on Saturdays. Who would have thunk it? And if you want more information about that, contact Don Schulte. The last thing I'd like to say is we need club coaches. We need club coaches. We need club coaches. We have a lot of clubs that need club coaches. And so to give them club coaches, we need club coaches. So if you know anyone who is willing to work with a club to help them get back on their feet or just give them a little bit of assistance and guidance, please reach out to myself or Debbie, and we will get them set up with a club who needs a coach. And it's a wonderful opportunity. I've been a coach before. It's amazing to be able to bring another perspective to a club and support them. And 99% of the time, they are very welcoming to your support and your ideas. It could be a really fulfilling relationship. Any questions about Buddy Club or new clubs or area director reports or club coaches? Anything that I can answer for you? Don't see any questions.
Yeah, Don, I would like to address the members of the call is that club building takes a lot of work, a lot of effort, and a lot of different areas. One of those areas is in what I call research. That means finding out who the key people are in respective companies, the makeup of different organizations, such as an HR resource group, and getting that research done requires a lot of people. If you are interested in being on the club research team, please let me know, and I will be in touch with you to give you more details on what it would take to be a member of this valuable team. Thank you, Don.
Thank you, Kevin. I appreciate your leadership and your guidance to our team. Thank you very much. All right, if there's nothing else, I will turn it back to Eugene, but if anyone has any questions, please feel free to reach out to me. And thank you for everything that you do to support us, because we couldn't do this without you. Thank you, and back to you, Eugene.
All right. Thank you, Don. Thank you. Thank you, Diamond Debbie. Thank you, Kevin. Thank you to the entire Club Growth Development team. Awesome, awesome, great work that you all are doing and strategies that are moving us forward. We appreciate you. We appreciate you. We are now going to pivot to our, well, let me say, I want to keep us on a positive note. And we're going to stay on a positive note. We're not going to get into franchises and differences, but we will maybe later on. But I'm excited to introduce to you and share with you our program quality director. And I appreciate David's vision in program quality and all that his team, your team is doing, David, to move us forward in training and development. And we're going to yield the floor so that you and your team can share the exciting things that are going on in Program Quality Director. Please help me in welcoming none other than David Hill, Program Quality Director.
Hey, thank you, Gene. I appreciate it.
And we have something on that we can agree. You have something on that we can agree today, and we're going to root them on today. I'll pause at that.
I got you. Okay. So thank you so much First, I wanted to kind of wrap up what Steve was saying earlier about Zoom Masters. One of the things that I am doing and my team is working on is we are going to have Zoom trainings throughout the rest of the year. And there'll be different levels of Zoom training, from the very basic, just getting people comfortable with Zoom, and then also getting them to update the platform that they're using, to a more immediate and then ultimately advanced. What I'd like to do ultimately is develop a Zoom committee that will handle things from the division level down. So Steve's team is a district team. And what I really would like to do is kind of separate both. Steve's team should handle anything dealing with the district, whether it's the TLI, whether it is the spring conference, helping out with the spring conference, anything that's district sponsored. Everything else should fall on the divisions to be self-sustaining. And ultimately, what I would love to do is get a minimum of 2, preferably 3 people per division to become Zoom masters. And especially since we are going into this contest season and everything else, the last thing we want to do is either have to cancel, postpone, change the date because we do not have Zoom masters. Steve did mention we did have our initial training on Wednesday. I was thinking about trying to do one more before the Christmas holiday, but I think it's time for people to kind of take a break, get themselves recharged, hopefully get over this Zoom fatigue, and then we'll start fresh at the new year with more trainings. So please, area directors, I truly ask your help with this, to talk to your clubs, explain to them the benefit of being self-sufficient. Plus, it gives people an opportunity to grow. The only way we're going to learn and understand things is we have to kind of stretch ourselves, go outside our comfort zone. And we're doing it right now, if you think about it, because the pandemic has forced us to step outside of our comfort zone. And we've all experienced some of the resistance, but it's because we don't like change. We get comfortable. And I'm just going to say that maybe it was a sign from above that said, hey, listen, it's time for you guys to kind of grow outside of your comfort zone. Let's do things different. I don't know what it is, but I will just say that this is a great opportunity for all of us as district leaders to really expand our knowledge and to be able to help not only ourselves, but our members. We're constantly trying to pay it forward. And that's the most important thing. If anyone has any questions or comments about that, you're more than welcome to reach out to me directly or to my admin assistant. I can't do anything without her, Gail Kelson. Just like Gene, I know he relies on Lisa Lee a lot. So I tell you, feel free to reach out to either one of us and we will talk more about that. Secondly, I wanted to talk about the TLIs and COTs. We had great turnouts for both of the TLIs on November 7th and 21st. We have our first COT on December 10th. Again, we are looking for presenters. We are also looking, like Steve said, for a Zoom master. I'm hoping out of this 60 plus people that maybe one person will step up for that. It has been challenging to say the least, but the last thing we want to do is burn out anyone. And I'm going to kind of go back to what Raymond and Angela said earlier about the Zoom fatigue and trying to shorten the day and everything else. And think about what Steve Landham said also, ladies and gentlemen, that we don't want to burn out our district Zoom masters. You know, we want to kind of keep them there as to be that resource for all of those who end up on this Zoom committee. So please keep that in mind. We also have another, well, we have our next TLI on January 10th. And for those who might look at that date and say, did he say the 10th? I did say the 10th. The 10th is a Sunday. We are just looking to see what kind of reception we get, because we've heard that Saturdays, you know, you're taking our Saturdays, during the week doesn't work. So we don't know, we're playing around with different ideas. And like I had said before, I'm also going to look for the summer TLIs to possibly become every day for 1 week, where we just take one officer role and maybe 1 or 2 sessions, and then that's it for that day. And we kind of just make it, compress it into smaller chunks. We'll see how that works. And then we also have our last, well, I won't say last, but there is another COT on January 23rd. There will be one possibly in February, but we're hoping by the time January 23rd comes around, we will have trained all the officers. So that's the ultimate goal. Next, I would like to go into speech contest. Oh, it's that season. It's that time of the year. Plus, I know Lee Kennedy had asked a question in the chat. So I will say this to you, and then it'll officially be put out also. Because we have the International Speech Contest, and because we're having the evaluation contest, which will require a 5 to 7 minute speech, at the area level, we're going to have 2 people progress. And then at the division level, it'll be the same way. So it's going to be the same as it was last year. And the reason being is for the sake of time. It's no knock on whether the 3rd place person should be able to progress or not, but just for the sake of time and trying to keep the spring conference down. As far as everything that we're doing, we just figure it would be better to just have 1st and 2nd place go through. I believe Kevin Voorhees also asked that question a couple of days ago. So hopefully that will answer your questions as far as what members are going through. Now, I'm also asking that all the area directors, please get the dates of your area conferences or every area contest. I have conference on my brain right now. Your area contest to me no later than next Friday. And the reason being is that I want to get this information to Steve Lanham so that he can post it on the D40 website. We want to secure those dates. And then we also want to be able to give all of you the opportunity to try to get your contest masters and everything else you need to have a successful area contest. So a lot of times I think we've been a little more reactive than proactive. Steve kind of said that, but not directly. So I'm saying it directly. We need to be more proactive. It's only December, and I know some of you are saying, well, it's only December. Well, guess what? I have one area director who wants her area contest to be in January. So think about it, ladies and gentlemen. We're going into the holiday season. People aren't going to be thinking about Toastmasters during the next couple of weeks. Let's be proactive. Let's get these dates out. Let's solicit people so that we can make your area contest very, very successful. If by chance you're not going to have an area contest, it's not the end of the world. We do understand that. Do not feel like you are obligated to host one. If your clubs are saying they don't want to do it or they're not sending anyone, then that's what's going to happen, okay? But I need those dates by next Friday. Next Friday will be the 11th. So please get those dates in. And then lastly, ladies and gentlemen, the spring conference. And there's been some questions about the conference, whether we're going to charge, how long are we going to have the conference itself, how many sessions we're going to have, if we're going to have the speech contest or if it's going to be moved to a different date. We're in challenging times. If we try to move the speech contest to a different date, ladies and gentlemen, what would end up happening, that would just endure another hardship of trying to get people to help out. So we're going to have the speech contest at the spring conference. We're not charging for the conference at all. We want people to come, but I will say we're going to get the agenda out early so that you can see. Other than the one major thing that we need you and the presidents and VPs to attend, which is the business meeting, everything else is going to be here. Here's the time slots for these things. If you want to come, you could come. We're not asking people to stay the whole time at all. We are not asking that at all. Okay, I'll get to that one. Thanks, Don. But
David,
hold on.
I have a question. Now,
Okay,
when will the has the district leadership decided?
Kevin, hold on a second.
Excuse me. Okay.
So we're not going to charge, but we also want to make sure that everyone will be able to attend and come and go at their leisure. We will have the International Speech Contest on Saturday, and we will have the evaluation contest on Sunday. Now, I did see two questions in the chat. Hold on, Kevin. One was from, I guess I should have had somebody looking in the chat for me.
I see one's from Christine on
Yes, okay, so Christine said, come on.
Her question, David, is first and second place move from area to division regardless of how many clubs are in the area, and that's a question.
Yes. Yes, we're going to go with that.
And then I think Kevin Voorhees also has a question regarding something similar.
And then Don Schultze had put something in the comments, so I'll let Don elaborate a little bit more. What was your question, Kevin? Did we lose Kevin? Oh, second question is Christine, okay. All right. And then Don, you had put something in there. Let me go.
Yeah, David, the rule book says only areas who have 4 or fewer clubs are allowed to send 2 members forward. But did you get guidance that can be waived? That's what I didn't understand.
Right, so according to TI, when I asked about that, they are going to waive this, and I'm going to make sure that we get a little more clarity on exactly everything that they're waiving. Okay, beat it. That's my future Toastmaster right there. I tell you, she always has to make an appearance. So she loves one waving, but she always asks about Toastmasters. So hopefully she will follow in our footsteps. But yeah, so when I was asking about that, they were like, they understand because of the virtual environment and then also because of the, really, Kevin? Kevin said trainer to be a Zoom master. But they also know because have been losing a lot of members that they are looking to change some things. So right now, we will go with that. If anything changes, I will definitely let everyone know. But right now, it looks like we can still do that. So great question and observation, Don. And I truly appreciate that. Let's see, also sending to, well, I'm sorry, I did say division, I meant area. At the division, we're only sending one. Thank you, Christine. I think I did say both the area and division, but we're only going to send one from the division. So I'd like to wrap up with this. Ladies and gentlemen, thank you so much for everything that you have been doing. We know that it has been a challenging time for all of you, but I truly appreciate all of the hard work that you're doing. Don Dehoff said it best, you know, pat yourself on the back. This is a time when we can let negativity, we have a lot of negativity going on in the country, in our city, in the state, in the world. Magnify the successes, no matter how big or how small they are. That's the most important thing. We could be far worse off. We could not even have a district right now, if you really think about it. So we are persevering throughout this struggle, this pandemic. So please, ladies and gentlemen, when you're talking to your other members, speak in a positive voice, a positive tone. Don't focus on the negative. Don't look at, well, I got to spend 8 hours in front of a computer with Toastmasters. This is an opportunity for each and every one of us to learn and to grow and to be able to share stories. 3-5 years from now, we're going to look back on 2020 and talk about how we grew because we were forced to be in this virtual environment. So look at the positive about everything when you're doing your visits, when you're hosting your area and division council meetings. Positivity will take us a long way. I truly believe that. I always thank my team members for being on my team. I know they get tired of hearing it, but I truly mean it. And I couldn't be where I'm at without them, but I definitely couldn't be where I'm at without each and every one of you. So from the bottom of my heart, I thank you so, so, so much. So thank you.
Thank you, David. Thank you, thank you. I appreciate you. I appreciate your aspirations within District 40 and within Toastmasters International. You always help me to aspire higher. So thank you, David, and thank you to the program quality team. Let's hear it for the entire team. Awesome, awesome. We are on time, and I am going to shorten my remarks just to, I had a pictorial to share with you really quick, and I'm allow each of the division directors a minute. Yeah, we're going to try to do this in a minute because we have our wonderful immediate past district director who has some wonderful words for us. And I want to focus on just what our program quality and club growth director and our theme today. Let's focus on the positive. We're going to have the realistic numbers, as you'll see here as well. But we have strategies that we're putting into place, like moving the ship where it needs to go. And so the first item for our state of the district, we've heard the state of the district throughout the day, but focusing in on those 3 goals that move our district forward, our memberships, our end of the year distinguished goal is 6317. We're at 2132 right now. And again, we're at 4185. So we're short that right now. We have 6 months to go. So just to know, we are progressing, and we're progressing because we have strategies in place through club growth strategies that we're moving forward with the memberships. And remember, our membership, our focus is on this second, as a district, this second goal, the clubs, the paid clubs, because that's our district mission, is supporting clubs. So our focus as a district is the club level. The D's, that's what we have at the beginning here. The DEC's customer. Are you able to see this? I want to make sure. Is everyone able? Oh, thank you. Should ask that first. The DEC's customers, our customers, your customers, is not the members, it's the clubs, okay? Paid clubs. This is the exciting goal. We want to continue to hammer home and continue to improve on this. As our club growth director mentioned, year-end distinguished goal is 170, and we're at 139. We're 31 short of that goal presently, and we still have another 6 months to go. So we're 81% complete of that. So kudos again to our club growth strategies through the buddy program, through our program quality strategies that are building better clubs. So I wanted to focus on that. And the last slide I wanted to share quickly on is, as division directors, as area directors, continue to visit your area to-do list. And if I had everyone I could see now and ask, does everyone know how to get to your area to-do list? If you don't know as an area director, ask your division director. Division directors, if you don't know, ask us. When you click, if we had more time, I would be able to click on these links. It will show you step by step what it takes for you to hit these different distinguished levels. Again, yes, we're in the challenging times, but we've got to set the goal to keep moving forward. This is where you go to take a look at those steps, action steps that you need to take, we need to take. We have them for the district as well, and for our regions, what we have to do to get to distinguished Smedley's presence and so forth. Okay. Moving quickly. And any questions on that, on the state, where we are? Okay. I'm going to yield my time, the balance of my time, to quickly our district or division directors. And I'll say, if there is something very relevant, pertinent that you want to share, feel free. It's going to have to be within 2 minutes. Okay, 2 minutes each, so we can stay on point. Division directors. All right. Well, hearing none, thank you for your graciousness, and I will turn over to the next item, and thank you. You can disregard the district conference because our program quality director has shared that already. So I'd like to welcome our immediate past district director and our leadership chair to share a few words about the leadership committee. Please help me welcome Don Schultze.
Thank you, Mr. District Director and fellow Toastmaster District 40 leaders. First of all, I want to thank you all for your leadership in these challenging times. You are all doing a great job, and I know our quad and myself, as well as the top 8, are very proud of all of your efforts. What I would like to do now is ask you to take a look at other leaders in either your divisions or areas who may aspire to also be future leaders of our district. What we will be doing here shortly in the next newsletter, we're going to be putting out the call for nominations for division directors, area directors, as well as the trio positions of district director, program quality director, and club growth director. Those nominations will be vetted by a leadership committee, which I'm proud to say we have already formed and met the deadline from TI to be officially approved by our district director. And then from January 15th on, we will be meeting to vet those nominations and make sure we have the best slate possible for voting at the next district council meeting, at the annual business meeting. So as I mentioned, Steve Lana will be putting this out in the next newsletter, and the deadline for all submissions will be January 15th. So as Steve mentioned, since we don't have a great return on the constant contact, when you see that newsletter, please forward it to your constituents, your area directors to your club officers. If you have to Twitterize it, feel free to Twitterize it. But we really want to get that message out to everybody and to ensure that all the forms mentioned and linked will be completed. So District Director, thank you for your leadership as well and giving me the time to talk about this today. Back to you, Gene.
Okay. Thank you, Don. Let's hear it for our immediate past district director and leadership chair, Don Schulze. Thank you, Don. We appreciate you. I do see there was a hand raised by one of our division directors, Mano. I want to acknowledge you. You had a question or you wanted to share. Mano Varatharaj. Can you hear me? Can you all hear me? Am I?
Yes.
Showing unmuted. Okay.
Don D. Huff referred to a new club in Wright-Patt Air Force Base. And Sean did send me an email. I called him back. He was very upbeat. He said there are 12 members and there is a good incentive during this time from TI. It ends on 31st of January 2021, and we should come and get this club together and going up. He wanted to charter that. Immediately, I called 4 of my experienced DTMs in the division. They have very good experience in that area, especially Area A, Area B in Dayton. They have 4 clubs. Right now, 2 clubs are not able to meet because of lack of members and they're not able to congregate in a particular place. They have 2 clubs that are meeting together. Even then, they don't have enough members. So my DTMs think it is not a good idea to charter another club. So I just want to get this out. I have not called him back or sent an email. This afternoon I'll be doing. He sounds very upbeat, Sean, but this is what my DTMs, they told me.
Okay, thank you, Mano. Thank you. Club growth, do you have any response immediately on that?
Well, I will say that this has come up before, this idea that, we have clubs that are struggling. We have clubs that don't have enough members. And is it a good idea to start new clubs? And that is a very, very good discussion. I would say that it kind of depends on where you're starting the new clubs and who can organize them. And I guess the question is, if you have members who want to start a new club, can you get them to attend an existing club? That's kind of the question that we're asking here. And I go back to my earlier comments that say, yes, we are in a virtual world, but there is a lot to be said for having a commonality with your fellow Toastmasters in your club. And so, for example, we'll just use this Wright-Patterson Air Force Base for an example. People that are at that facility who work together, that know each other, that know the kind of work that they do, they have a common language. They will have a camaraderie with each other that they won't have if they were to go and join another club. So yes, I think there is some wisdom if we could reach out to those members that want to start a new club and say, hey, would you be willing to join this club instead? But that has its own difficulty, right? I am certainly willing to have that conversation. And Mano, if you'd like to reach out to me with those DTMs, if you would like to have a call and we could discuss that further, I would love to have that discussion. So thank you for that. And if anyone has any thoughts on that particular topic and how we might leverage, that unique challenge, but also opportunity in this era, please reach out to me. I would love to hear your thoughts.
Thank you, Don.
Thank you, Don. Thank you. And thank you to the team, Fred Gaik, Area Director, I see your question in the chat. We will address that as well. I want to honor everyone's time. We began on time and we covered all of our points, and I want us to end on time, but we will respond to your question regarding the suspension during the pandemics. We have an answer for that. Okay. We want to honor everybody's time. Is there anything else for the good of the order? I want to remind everyone to continue to aspire higher. If you just take that moment to share the thought with your members, with the guests, with your clubs, it's amazing what will transform and what will take place during the transformation. I'm learning in this Toastmasters journey. We wish you a wonderful day and happy holidays to you and your families. And remember to be safe.
Thank you.
The recording will be provided to everybody. Bye-bye.
Take care, everyone. Have a great